you to be sitting where your legs are comfortable because our focus is really our breath as we begin. So you might be sitting with your legs crossed. This is comfortable for me, but it might be more comfortable for you to kneel. And you can kneel with the block underneath your hip, or you might choose to have your feet out in bound angle pose, something like that. So once you come into a comfortable seated position with your lower body, let your shoulders come back and down. We sit up tall, eyes can close, or the gaze is off your cheekbones. We do want to let our elbows relax down underneath our shoulders. Palms can be down or up. That is a personal preference. So whichever way feels better for you, choose that one. And just check in with your chin. Sometimes we like to drop our chin towards our chest. We do want to have the chin level. So think lift up so your chin is level. And now we bring our attention to our breath. As you breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. Both the inhale and the exhale is through your nose. As you continue to settle in, bring more attention to your breath as you breathe diaphragm, ribs, chest. When you exhale, feel your breath release all the way out to the bottom of your belly. Steady inhale, steady exhale. Continue focusing on your breath, but at the same time, we want to let our shoulders relax and feel the steady rhythm of your breath as you inhale and exhale. At the end of your next breath, you open your eyes, meet with your hands, heart center. We take an inhale, reach our arms up, side stretch to the right. Bring your right hand down and reach up and over with the left. It's a side stretch, bottom shoulder relaxes. Reach your arm up, left hand comes down, reach up, open over. And again, bottom shoulder relaxes, stretch off to the side. One more time each side, inhale up, side stretch. Here's your inhale. Exhale as you stretch off to the side. Bring both your arms up to center. Gentle twist to the right. Hands come down, sit up tall, and gentle twist through your mid-upper back. Here's the inhale, reach your arms up, and gentle twist to the left. You can sit a little taller and let the twist happen in your mid-upper back. Reach your arms all the way up. Hands return to your heart center here. We take our feet out slightly in front of us. We're taking windshield wiper legs here. So you can take your knees off to one side, then the other. I kept my hips on my block, but if you would prefer taking a couple windshield wipers with the block off to your side, feel free to do that. We are getting ready to come into all fours. We will meet on our hands and our knees. Block is off to the side. You probably want to keep it kind of handy. We are doing some of our low lunge moves. We're taking our wrists underneath our shoulders, knees under hips. Once you have that, it is your cow. Inhale, lift your collarbone, your chest. Cat, pull your belly in, drop the top of your head, your tailbone towards the mat. As you inhale, Lift open. As you exhale, round, release. So now you want to move with your breath at your pace. You might choose to go a little quicker. You might choose to go a little slower. At the end of your next breath, we are meeting right in neutral. Take your left foot behind. We're keeping the ball of the foot down on the mat. Level out your hips, pulling your core. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch through your heels. Press back through your heel, lengthen. Bring yourself to center. Lift the leg. Once you have the leg lifted, you push your heel away from you. Lift your opposite arm as you take your balance pose. Release this side, and now we take it to the other side. You take the opposite foot behind. Your ball of foot is on the floor. You're going to push a little bit through your heel, lengthen through the back of your leg. Bring yourself to center right here. Lift the leg. Active leg though. Push the heel away from you. And then you lift the opposite hand. Release your arm and leg and give yourself a nice child's pose right here. You can slide your hips back, let your fingertips reach out to the front, give yourself a big stretch through your shoulders, your spine, your hips. Bring yourself back to all fours. It is your low lunge. We're taking our right foot to the front. Take your knee over your ankle. You want to set yourself up into your low lunge. Bottom knee is staying on the floor this first time. Here comes a reach up. So let your shoulders stay down as you reach your fingertips up. And add some length through your waistline. Get a little taller through your waist. Fingertips are coming back down towards the mat. We take the right leg back. The left leg goes towards the front. Just check to make sure knee is over ankle. Once you bring yourself up, fingertips reach out, check. Shoulders stay relaxed as you lift up. Once you get up, a little reach and lift through your waistline, get a little taller. Now the length is in your waistline, your shoulders stay relaxed. Let your fingertips come back down to the mat. We're bringing it back into all fours. And from our all fours, it's your downward dog. Ground down through your hands, tuck your toes, lift your hips. In our first downward dog, let's bend our knees, press your hips back, and get a little longer through your spine. Use the bent knees to get long and really push your hips towards the back wall. Now from here, we can straighten our legs, lift your heels up higher, up on your toes. Where did your hips go? If they came forward, press your hips back. And now let your heels come towards the floor. They don't ever have to touch the mat. It's a direction for you to go. Now, if when you're pressing your heels down, you start rounding through your back, bend your knees so you can keep a long, straight spine. Take one more breath, and then we step or walk to the top of your mat. We're walking all the way to the top, feet hip width apart. Take a rag down. Let your arms relax. So you can keep your fingertips on the mat. You can reach towards your elbows. And a little swaying side to side. Let your hips swing from one side to the other. Bring yourself back to center. Fingertips can release to the mat. And now ground down into your feet, engage through your legs, stand all the way up, engage through your core, though, strong core. You bring yourself all the way up to standing, hands, heart center. Now your choice here, you can practice with your heels under your hips, or you can choose to take your big toes together, a little space between your heels. We take an inhale, reach up, lengthen. Forward fold is an exhale. You want to let your ribs connect to your thighs and your neck, shoulders relax. Halfway lift, get long through your spine. Open your collarbone. Forward fold, knees soft. Now ground into your feet and we stand up. Lots of core here. Strong center, bring yourself all the way up. Hands, heart center. Here's your inhale, reach up. Forward fold is your exhale. Halfway lift. Now we want our block handy here, so hopefully you have it someplace nearby. We step our left leg back into a low lunge. And this is going to be a low lunge, and as long as it works okay for you, keep the back knee up. Hand can come to the block. What we're going to do is engage your leg a little bit more. Strengthen the leg, squeeze the glutes. Can you press through your heel a little more? Now ground down into your front hand. I want you to reach the top of your head as far away from you as you can, and then you add a twist through your mid-upper back. Fingertips reach up. Once you're there, did you keep the back leg active? Here's that reach through the top of your head, get long. Release your hand down. You can set your block to the side. It is going to be a press from the back foot. It's your halfway lift. Push off. Bring yourself halfway up. Long spine, open your collarbone. Forward fold. And now reach all the way up to standing. This is core. Strong legs. Hands come to heart center. One more time. It's a reach up. Inhale. Forward fold. Exhale. Knees can soften. Release down. Check. Neck relaxes. Halfway lift. Long spine. Reach through the top of your head. Fingertips are coming to the mat. We're taking our low lunge on the other side. Block is an option. You might choose not to use it, and that's perfectly fine too. It's just an option. Right here, back leg is strong, so knee is lifting. And when I say strong, think about squeezing the back glute so you're really active in the back leg. Knee is staying over your ankle. You're reaching through the top of your head, back so you can get long. And let that rotation is in your mid-upper back. That means your hips stayed stable and you're lifting and you're opening. And did you keep your knee shooting straight ahead or did you let it fall open? So we want to keep the knee forward as you take the twist. Back leg stays active. Did you squeeze the glutes a little bit more? And now bring yourself back down. Block is off to the side. You're taking the push off the back foot as you meet in a halfway lift. Forward fold. Now reach all the way up to standing. Hands, heart center. Here comes your inhale, reach up. Forward fold is your exhale. Release. Halfway lift. Hands come to your mat. It is your plank pose. Hands are on the mat. Feet step back. Come into your plank. Now remember, if today is a knee day, feel free to take your knees down to the mat. That's perfectly fine. Or you can choose to keep your legs lifted. Just make sure you're pulling your shoulders back. You're pulling in your core. And you have strong legs right here. Hold your plank. Check in with your breath. And from here, we lower all the way down to the mat to practice our cobra pose. Hands stay by your rib cage. Toes reach back. Ground your feet down. Inhale. Lift for cobra. Exhale, release down. Now maybe you choose to keep your cobra small. That's perfectly fine. You take your lift. And you release. One more cobra. Whatever height feels really good for your body, that's where you go. Release down and bring yourself all fours for a cow cat. Take a nice cow cat right here. From your cow cat, it is your child's pose. Breathe into your back rib cage. Feel your ribs open. Downward dog from here. Ground down through your hands. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. And there's your downward dog. Take one more breath. And from here, you can step or walk to the top of your mat. It is your halfway lift. Forward fold. And reach all the way up to standing. Hands, heart center. We're going into a high lunge. Keep your right foot to the front. You take your left foot back. So think crescent lunge, high lunge. That means our back heel is lifting up and off the mat. We have some balance work happening here, and we have our front knee coming right over our ankle. 90 degrees at the front, back leg strong. Fingertips reach up here. Shoulders are relaxing. And now right here, can you squeeze your back glute a little bit more and strengthen the back leg? Stay strong through your center. Take a hinge. Let your fingertips reach to the front. Check in with your breath. Stay strong right here. Hands come into your heart center. Bring yourself up. And now step your back foot in by your opposite foot. Take a nice big inhale. Hands return to your heart center. It is your high lunge on the other side. Step your right foot back, left stays to the front. First, get your feet solid base. Feel the front foot come down. Feel the back leg activate. Fingertips reach up. Find a focal spot that's going to help with your balance as you settle down. Feel your feet settle into the mat. Take an inhale. When you exhale, hinge, reaching forward. We're really engaged here. And you are reaching through the top of your head. Feel the length through the top of your head as you reach and lengthen. Strong legs. Hands come to your heart center. Bring yourself up tall. Here's your step to the top of your mat. And we take it through a vinyasa. It's a reach up as you inhale. Forward fold is your exhale. Halfway lift. Bring your hands to the mat. Plank pose. Feet go back. Hold your plank. Check in with your breath. Stay long right here. We lower all the way to the mat. It can be toes or knees. Bring yourself down. Take a cobra pose. Elbows keep sliding back. It's your cobra at your height. And meet in all fours. Take one cow cat right here. Nice inhale. Take your exhale. We meet in the center and we're adding a little bit of core work here. We are taking our left foot out behind. Right fingertips to the front. From here, you're lifting your arm and leg. There's the lift. Pulling your core. Here comes your crunch. Bring your elbow to your knee. Take a little pause in. Extend everything out long. You take a crunch. You are pulling your arm and your knee in. Engage. Extend, reach, lengthen. Here's your crunch as you bring it in. Here's your extension. We have one more on this side. Bring in your crunch. Extend long. Hold it here. Push your foot a little further away. Reach your fingertips. And release your arm and leg. Now take a cow cat. You might want a child's pose if your wrist needs a break. Feel free to give yourself a little break. We set ourselves up for the other side. Foot goes back, level the hips, fingertips to the front. Once you have that, arm and leg comes up. Get really stable, and now we add. We bring our elbow to our knee, pause, extend out long. We bring our elbow to our knee, extend out long. We have two more. Here comes your crunch. And your extension, one more. Make it strong, pull it in, resist. Extend, get long, hold, pause, push your foot away. Release your arm and leg. Cow cat or a nice child's pose, whichever feels best for you. We meet in a downward dog. You can ground down through your hands. Now remember, if at any time you want to skip the downward dog, feel free to stay on all fours. You can stay on all fours. You can take the downward dog. And from here, we are going to step or walk to the front. If you're on all fours, then you're taking it as a little lunge up, and then you bring the other foot up. We all meet in a halfway lift. There's your length. Forward fold. Now we reach all the way up to standing. Hands, heart center. It's your warrior one pose. Right foot stays to the front, left foot steps back. Check, foot is out behind. You want to feel your foot ground down into the mat. Other leg is straight, knee is coming over the ankle. If you want to just engage a little more, as long as it doesn't irritate your back, you can think about bringing your hips front and center, as well as your rib cage coming to the front. And then you're taking and holding your warrior one. So rib cage, chest towards the front. You want to really engage the back leg. So feel the leg get strong as you squeeze. Cactus arms, open up your arms, lift your chest a little bit more. And when I say lift your chest, that's a lift up towards this ceiling. We stay out of our low back and we open a little more through our chest. Reach your fingertips back up high. Hands come to your heart center. Step to the top of your mat. We take our warrior one to the other side. Right foot steps back. Left leg is to the front. Again, check. You want to bring your rib cage chest to front the best you can. Really active back leg. So think about engaging the back leg just a little bit more. Shoulders are relaxing down. Steady gaze, straight ahead. Cactus arms. Here's the open. Now, if this feels good and you want more, lift your chest towards the ceiling. Feel the opening through the front side. It's a lifting up and an opening. So we're out of our low back. Reach your arms back up high here. Find your focal spot in front of you. And take your step to the top of your mat. Hands. Heart center. Here comes your reach up. It's your vinyasa. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands are coming to your mat. Step your feet back. It's your plank. And from your plank, downward dog. Lift your hips. Now your plank and your downward dog, you should be able to slide between them by keeping your hands and your feet where they are. We slide forward into plank. You lift your hips, downward dog. Hands and feet stay in one spot. Now we slide forward, plank. Lift your hips, press back. We do this one more time. Here comes a slide forward, and your press back. Now we're adding some crunches. If you want to take it to all fours and do the crunches we just did, do that. Otherwise, you're going to lift your right leg, and we glide forward as we take our crunch, knee to nose. You push your leg back. Now pull your knee in, crunch, pause, press your leg back. Here comes the crunch. Here comes your extension. It is a warrior two pose. You're bringing the foot all the way through between your hands. You might want to use your hand, adjust the foot. We open up the back foot. You want to feel the grounding down of the back foot. Knee over ankle. Bring yourself up, and you're coming into your warrior two pose. Long stance. Chest is lifted, and let yourself settle into your pose. Our feet are grounding down into the mat. Once you have your feet grounding, pull your thighs together to engage your legs. We can lengthen a little more through the top of your head, and let your fingertips reach side to side. Take one more breath here. Bring your forearm to your thigh, reach your back arm. There's the reach. And now if you're leaning forward, see if you can rotate and open your chest as you reach your fingertips a little further away. So we're gonna engage a little bit more through our upper body by reaching your fingertips up and away. With an inhale, you're going to bring yourself up. We're going right into a wide angle fold. So toes can come straight ahead. Hands can come to your hips to start. But soften your knees and come into your forward fold. If your block is handy, you might choose to use your block and hold your pose here. If you're super comfortable coming down further, feel free to bring yourself down further. We are going to activate our legs a little bit, so wherever you decide to go, let your feet ground down. So you might want to see if you can lift up all your toes, and you're going to feel your feet come down into the mat. And then you're going to pull your inner thighs towards each other and feel the engagement a little bit more through your legs. With your inhale, bring yourself halfway up. You can soften your knees, hands will come to your hips, you stand all the way up. We are taking the windmill of our hands off to the right so we can meet in our plank pose, or however you choose to get there. Everybody will meet in plank. Here comes your downward dog. Lift your hips, press back. Glide forward, it's your plank pose. Lift your hips, press back. One more time, we glide forward. You press back, hold your downward dog. We're adding our three-legged dog here. Crunches, if you choose to do this on all fours, feel free to take it down your hands and knees. We are gliding forward as you bring your knee to your nose, crunch in. Press your leg back. Here is knee to nose, pause, squeeze. Press your leg back. Knee to nose, squeeze, pause. Press it back. This time it is your warrior two. You're bringing the foot all the way through. Make any adjustments you need to make. Open up your back foot, think heel to arch. And when you're ready, you're bringing yourself up into your warrior two. Feel your feet sink into your mat. Pull your inner thighs in and together. Your gaze is right over your front fingertips. strong legs. Keep grounding your feet, squeezing your thighs. We get length through the top of your head. Top of the head reaches the ceiling. Extended side angle. Bring your forearm to your thigh. And here comes the reach, and you lengthen. Again, if you came forward, can you open your chest up towards the ceiling and then reach your top hand a little bit further? Breath. Bring yourself up into your warrior two. From your warrior two, we're coming up into our wide fold. Both your toes reach straight ahead. Hands come to your hips. Take the inhale. Soften your knees on the way down. Maybe you use your block. Maybe you choose to take your hands down to the mat. Whatever works for you. Ground down so you can lift your toes. Feel all four corners of your feet. Keep grounding through your feet. Pull your inner thighs together. There comes a little bit stronger legs. And let the top of your head come down towards the mat. If you're staying a halfway lift, you are letting your back get long as you lengthen through the top of your head. To come out of this, we bring ourselves halfway up. You want to take a breath halfway up. Soften the knees. Bring your hands to your hips. Bring yourself all the way up here. And we are going to meet at the top of your mat. So take a big step to the top of your mat. And your hands meet at heart center. We're getting ready to practice our tree pose. Standing on both feet. We're going to stand on our right foot. Get a solid base, so feel the foot come down. Lift the leg up. Stay tall. Kickstand. If kickstand feels really good today, maybe you choose to take it to your low leg. If low leg is working, you might choose to take it to your upper thigh. Hands can stay at your heart center, but you might choose to open. They have a wobbly tree. And go ahead, release your arms, release your legs. Give yourself a little shake. We have to take it to the other side. So right here, we ground down. It can be kickstand. Maybe you choose to take it low. Or you can choose to take it up high. Once you get your feet, hands can be heart center. So maybe you open, maybe you take your hands all the way up to prayer. We want to stay tall, keep lifting up through your hip, all the way through the top of your head. Take one more breath, and then release your arms, release your legs. My tree fell early. Let's go ahead, meet at the top of the mat, hands heart center as we get ready to take it to the floor. Here's your reach up, nice big inhale. Now forward fold, we're staying for an extra breath, so feel free, bend your knees. We are using this nice release. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Feel the neck and the top of the head relax down. Shoulders are relaxing. So if you're really straightening your shoulders, let your shoulders relax. Here's your halfway lift. This is more active. You can press your hands into your shins. You lift and open your collarbone so you have a long spine. Take an inhale, bring your hands to your mat, plank pose as you step your feet back into your plank. We squeeze the glutes, stay strong right here. This time we're lowering all the way to the mat. You can do this from your toes. You can choose to do it from your knees. Once you get down, let your toes point away. We are taking a locust pose, so take your hands by your thighs. We are going to keep reaching our toes away. Feet can stay down or you can lift them. You're going to reach your fingertips. Lift up through your mid-upper back. As long as it feels okay for your back, you would lift your legs. But maybe today it feels better to have them down. Both versions are correct. It's whichever one works for your body. Take one more breath and then gently release down, forehead or cheek to the mat. Take your big toes together, let your heels fall open. From here, we are going to roll right over onto our backside to practice our bridge pose. So because we just did a back lift, we're going to take it over. If you want to use your block, feel free to use your block. A block is a great way to keep your legs in the right alignment so your knees are going straight ahead. Make sure your toes are going straight ahead. They can even take the big toes in a little bit if that feels better for you. You just don't want your toes out. You want them going straight or a little bit in. Ground down into your feet. From here, press and lift. Now, if once you're lifted, it would be a little walk under, and you would open your chest a little bit more towards the ceiling, but it's really going towards the wall behind you. And you're going to keep squeezing the block if you put the block between your thighs. Otherwise, you're going to make sure your knees are shooting straight ahead. And let the base of your head settle, sink into the mat. So we have lots of space for our neck. And our throat is open towards the ceiling. Take one more breath here, and you're gently going to let yourself come down. We are doing this one more time, so I don't want you to stretch quite yet. You're going to reset yourself. Once you have yourself set up, you're going to press into your feet, lift your hips. You're more than welcome to walk your shoulders under if that's a version that you like. We're going to take one more breath here, and then you're gently going to let everything come back down to the mat. We want to be nice when we release our back. If you have your block, you can set it to the spine, knees set it to the side, knees together, feet open up. Once that feels good, it is windshield wiper. There's a little bit more of a release for your back, for your hips. And it's from here, you can bring both your knees into your chest. Hopefully your strap is someplace nearby. I happen to go put my head on this side by my strap. Knees are going to come in. Give yourself a little bit more of a stretch here. It is going to be bringing our strap around. So have your strap. First start by taking one foot out. So you're going to reach the foot out, press the heel down into the mat. Stay active, big active stretch here. And then when you take your strap, you're going to take it around the ball of your foot. So you want it right under the base of the big toe and the pinky. Foot is going up towards the ceiling. And you want to level the bottom of your foot out towards the ceiling. Sometimes we like to swivel it in, push it out. all kinds of stuff. See if you can level the bottom of your foot towards the ceiling. Now we're going for a hamstring stretch here. If you don't feel it in your hamstring, sometimes you need to take the leg a little further away, and sometimes you need to bring it up. And then let your hip relax into the floor. So sometimes we're really tense and we're lifting our hip up and away. Let the hip come down into the floor. We are opening this leg to the outside, so both of your hands are holding onto the strap. Leg opens right here, your opposite hip. Keep it into the mat. Keep it down, keep it down, keep it down as you open your leg to the outside. We bring the leg up to the center, switch hands holding the strap. We take the leg across our midline and only go as far as appropriate for you. You want to feel the stretch. It could be really nice through your hip. It could be a stretch down your outer thigh. If your shoulders are tight, you might be feeling this in your upper body as well. We bring our leg back up to center. Now both your knees can come into your chest. We'll be switching sides. We start with extending one leg out long. Nice hip stretch right here. From here, this is where we take our strap. Goes around the bottom of your foot, but it's by the base of the big toe and the base of the pinky. We want to be able to control where our foot is when it's up. One hand on each side of the strap. Level the bottom of the foot out towards the ceiling. Hamstring stretch. Again, you might get a really great stretch with the leg a little further away from you. You might get it when it comes a little closer. Then let that hip relax down into your mat. We are clasping both the straps over in the one hand so we can open to the outside. Check it out. We're keeping our opposite hip down. So we want to get a good inner thigh stretch. Keep your hip down the best you can as you open the leg to the outside. We start bringing the leg back up to center. Switch the hands holding the strap. Take the leg across your midline. And then find the sweet spot where you get a really fabulous stretch down the outside of your thigh in your hip. You might be high, you might be low. There is no right spot. It's wherever you go and you find that really great stretch. Bring your leg back up to center. You can set your strap off to the side. Bring both your knees in. Let's take our knees in towards our armpits so you can let your tailbone stay relaxed down on the floor. Bottoms of the feet are coming down to the floor. It's our figure four. Take your right ankle over your left knee. Is your figure four here. So here's one great option. You might want to stay here. Another great option, take your block, set it underneath. You might get a really nice stretch there. Or you can always lift your leg all the way up. So wherever you go though, see if you can let your hips relax a little bit. So instead of getting really tense in the upper body and pulling and tugging to get into the pose, the stretches for your hips. So let your upper body relax and get that perfect stretch for your hips. So it might be lifting your legs up a little bit. If you can reach through and it's still really comfortable, you can stay relaxed in your upper body, you can choose that. We bring our foot back down to the floor. If you had it lifted, we're adding a spinal twist here. So right here, arms can open. Take the bottom of the foot towards the floor and find that really great stretch. It's in a little different area. You might need to make micro movements to get it in the perfect spot. Start bringing everything back to center. We have the other side to go. So set the right foot down. We take the left ankle over the right knee. Now you might choose to stay here. Another great option is setting the block underneath and taking the stretch there. That might be exactly what you need. Or you can lift the leg. Just be aware of what's happening when you do that. You want to make sure you're still letting your hips relax, shoulders relax. If your legs are lifted, go ahead, bring them down to the floor. We're adding our twist right here. Bottom of the foot rotates over. You're looking for that really great stretch through your hips, through your spine. Start bringing everything back to center right here. You can take both your knees in towards your armpits. Bottoms of the feet go towards the ceiling. Add your little rocking side to side. Here's your happy baby. We are going to be sitting up for a couple minutes, so don't get too relaxed quite yet. We're going to bring ourselves all the way up. So roll yourself up, or you can take it to the side, bring yourself up. We're adding some forward stretches right here. Feet are going to come out to the front. So we want our toes up towards the ceiling. Grab your strap if you have it handy. Take this strap around the bottoms of your feet. You'll see when I say that, what I really mean is at the base of the big toe. And we're going to use this strap. One, we're using it to get a nice stretch through the backside of our body. Two, we want to level out the bottoms of our feet. So if you like to swivel your feet in, you want to see if you can get the bottoms of your feet even. And that's going to make your knees go up towards the ceiling. Sit up nice and tall. If you're having a problem sitting up tall, bend your knees. Now, this might be perfect. You might feel a perfect stretch through the hamstrings here, or you can always choose to walk forward a little bit. But now pay attention. What is happening with your feet? Did they stay flat? What happened with your shoulders? Did they come up around your ears, or were you able to keep them down? Now, what happened with your spine? So if you had to round a lot, it's not the right move either. So you might want to come up a little bit more. Doesn't matter how low you go. If you're hinged forward, bring yourself up, and we can keep the strap around the bottom of the right foot. Bring the left foot in. I always like to show the little option to put the block underneath your knee, especially if you feel tightening or pulling in your knee or your hip. We're going to keep our foot flat and straight, and then give ourselves a lean forward over your leg. Bring yourself all the way up. We have the other side. Take the opposite foot in your strap. Once you have that, you're going to give yourself your forward lean. And again, check to see what's happening with your foot. Your toes are up towards the ceiling. Bottom of the foot is flat. Our shoulders are relaxed and it's a length through your spine. So you're reaching through the top of your head. We bring ourself up here. We're adding a twist right here. Bring your knee up. Foot can stay on the inside of your thigh, or you can choose to take it around to the outside. If it's on the outside, press the whole foot down into the floor. And then sit up really tall. Add a nice little twist through your mid upper. Bring yourself to center. We switch sides. Opposite leg comes in. You would take the foot around to the outside as long as it's comfortable for you. Opposite leg is active. Here comes that twist. Excuse me. Bring yourself back to center. We're taking our legs out wide right here. Give yourself a nice wide angle fold. We're practicing keeping our toes up, feet flat. You want to stay there. Maybe you come forward, maybe you stay up and you bend your knees. All of them are right. It is just going to depend. Where does your body like it best? Does it like to stay up tall, have the legs bent? Does it like to have a little lean forward? Maybe you like to reach all the way forward. So they're all right. It is whatever feels really nice for you right now as you settle into the pose. Wherever you are, we're going to bring ourselves up. Give yourself a little release. Bring your legs in. We are going to bring ourselves down onto the floor. We're getting ready for our Shavasana. Start by giving your knees a hug into your chest or your armpits, whichever one feels better. Let the tailbone relax. Bottoms of the feet is a little happy baby. Release through your low back. Roll side to side. Once that feels good, start bringing yourself into Shavasana. Now, if there's any other moves that make you feel really good so you can relax for these last few minutes in Shavasana, feel free to do them. Otherwise, you're going to settle yourself down into the mat. You might need to wiggle your hips a little bit. You're going to want to find a comfortable distance for your legs. Arms are by your side. Let your palms come up so you can let your shoulder blades settle down into the mat. Feel the base of your head come down into the mat. You want to continue to allow yourself to settle and sink down into your mat. Your breath is relaxed at its own pace, its own rhythm. As you settle down, let your face relax. Your forehead releases tension. Your eyes sink back. Your jaw relaxes. It might drop open a little bit as your tongue drops from the roof of your mouth to the bottom. Shoulders keep sinking into the mat. Fingers are relaxed. You can start deepening your breath. Add some movement in your fingers and your toes. Take a long stretch as you reach from your fingertips to your toes. Get nice and long. Knees come into your chest. Gently take it over to your side. Reconnect with your breath here. Stay for a few breaths as you reconnect. From there, you start bringing yourself up into a comfortable seated position. And we all meet with our hands heart center. Take an inhale and reach all the way up. Hands heart center. Namaste.